Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Al Stock Trades. In this video, we're going to go ahead and talk about a specific post that I received on my Twitter here. This gentleman here by Roland here. Hi, Al. Just wondering if you could do a video to explain this. CLOV is down 7.5%, but there were larger inflows than outflows today. Thanks. Okay. So we're going to go to the original post here. And this gentleman here went on Webull, and usually every single day, Webull goes ahead and tells you exactly where it, essentially is the sentiment of the company regarding what is going in and what is going out. And it parcelates this for people that are unaware of small orders, medium orders, and large size orders. So overall, basically, let me just go ahead and comment down and say, there you go. Sorry about that, guys, because she's gonna call again and she's gonna keep calling again because that's just how this is how she works. Okay, so now let's text her. So overall, we can see that the small orders, medium orders, and large side orders were all in the green today. But the question is essentially, well, hey, why is the stock down, right? Like, it doesn't make sense, right? Well, there's a lot of other factors to this. There's exchange factors. There's essentially factors regarding how well the market did in general in terms of, this is old news here. This is this is pre-market for the futures for tomorrow's opening. So unfortunately, we can't do that. But overall, a lot of the markets did fall down near close to the end. If you go in and take a look at Apple stock basically did the same thing. Apple stock is down, right? And essentially Microsoft stock is down, right? So I would actually be interested to look at the inflows and outflows of Microsoft. But for people that don't understand, like, what is this? Like, what does this tell you? This tells you that a lot more companies, just one moment, please. Give me one moment. Sorry, guys. I'm a little bit preoccupied here with surgery. I'm doing the surgery rotation. So I wanted to go ahead and cut some time out to essentially give you guys this information. So I'm back now. Okay. So essentially, what you basically see here is this basically tells you the sentiment of traders and people that buy, right? And it tells you, hey, the sentiment's changing. It doesn't tell you by who. Maybe you can get some understanding from the medium to large size orders, but it does tell you that, okay, we are seeing a lot of money in the thousands. Okay. So luckily we do have a terminal that essentially we basically helped parcelate to retail investors. Now, normally, if you were to go to Bloomberg terminal cost, it normally costs around $2,000 every month to have a Bloomberg terminal, right? And unfortunately, this basically tells you the finances of things and everything. But luckily, the only thing that we can't do that this thing can is track GPS tankers that basically, like live tracking of like commodities, right? But a lot of folks are not really interested in those types of things. But overall, all of our members, and we have a Clover dedicated private stock specific chat group here, but all our members are doing their due diligence and have essentially searched our terminal. I don't know if they went ahead and searched for this thing, but if you go ahead and look at the dark pool levels here for CLOV and go ahead and search the dark pool levels here, what you'll find is at $1.11, which I believe was like almost like the pre-market or beginning stages of Clover, I think. There was around 264.9 thousand share buys to this, right? So equivocally, that is what 1.11 times 2649. That's around $294,000 that was placed into Clover today. Now, it may not seem like much, but if you were to look at the fair value in terms of the company, and just say, we'll just call it $10 to when it basically became publicly traded, it's a 264,000 shares at $10. that's, let's make the numbers a little easy for us here. That's about $2.6 million, right? So overall, this is definitely a bullish trend, but we are seeing something different. This is a pattern, and it's a breakage of pattern. And we're going to start seeing a lot of breakage of patterns in a lot of companies that we look at as, essentially the market tries to put this recession behind it. And hopefully the recession is a soft landing. There's a couple of hints that we can talk about later on regarding that this may be possible. But overall, the biggest thing here, guys, is these are the I don't really troubles. The only reason why I'm making this video is I got asked by a wonderful guy that follows us here at our Twitter, and honestly, for me, I don't really quite look at this too much. I honestly like to focus on the business as a whole, the fundamentals of the company. Is this company ascending to its free cash flow positivity? Is it ascending to becoming net income positive? Is it prioritizing, as what Andrew Toy said, EBITDA positivity and essentially profitability? And yes, so that we've been making directions towards that goal. And if you looked at my most recent video regarding Clover, if we just look at the net income, we can see that they are decreasing the rate of losing money, and they're actually doing really good in comparison to how they did in 2021. And that's exactly what you want to see in anything. You want to see it in anything in life. And a job applicant, anyone that you're evaluating, you want to see a trend that's going to the positive side. Anything negative, then we don't want to be involved in that. We'll come back to you and we'll give you an opportunity when you show us a positive sloped value trend. And the beautiful part is you don't have to worry about FOMOing, because it's very beautiful, because Wall Street doesn't take honestly the time until when it's too late, right? But don't be confused. Wall Street is and has been slowly coming into the stock, and the narrative of the stock is slowly starting to change. We're going to start seeing on the media news regarding the positive push in Clover, and you're going to start seeing the way people look at Clover is going to be quite different. And the sentiment and the media sentiment, we can do our sentimental analysis on our stock terminal here, is going to start changing. It's going to definitely start changing here for the better. And so that's essentially what's going to happen. And then once we do get to that position, then we can go ahead and then take a look at we could do a quick price target in terms of what analysts have done. I believe it's this one here. So overall, what you can see is this is the solid line here is the stock price of Clover. And the price, and the dashed here, and almost kind of the tannish line here that you see going down, like this line here with red dots, connect the red dots. These are analyst price targets. And what you can see is when the stock price starts to go down, analysts basically price targets also go down. The reason that this happens is because when it gives the analysts one form of credibility. Second, it then allows the analysts to essentially go in and start basically pumping up the company by putting price targets up. So it has to do with something called stage analysis, which we basically talked about. And as you can see, it doesn't really have anything to do with fundamentals. So if you were to go here, guys, in terms of the stage analysis, going back here for those technical day traders, because that's essentially what these analysts are doing here. They're just following the stock price, and they're following this trend. So overall, Clover Health has not shown any proof of concept based off of the 30-week MA, aka the 200-day simple moving average. And Wall Street likes to see obviously a cross of the 200-day, a bounce and a bounce, and then a consistent rise above the 200-day moving average until later in the future it falls back down. So right now we're at this stage here, okay? We're at this stage, and this is kind of where we're at right now. And once we start essentially bouncing off and crossing the 200-day, then we go ahead and support it. You're going to start seeing the price targets start to go up again. And what that does is as it transcends and goes up, the analysts then themselves get credit for that. And it's just better to write it down and write it up. But overall, these analysts think in kind of, 5 to 12 month segments. And sometimes they do it in such a way that they actually doesn't work out this way. And in fact, it really never works out this way. A lot of analysts, unfortunately, the stock price rises, but their price target is lower because they want the price to go down. And I don't have to explain this to you guys. You guys already know this. This group of folks here knows this. But for a lot of all, those investors out there that are just, going in, that's essentially what these things are, right? So overall, that's pretty much what we have for you guys. We wanted to just make sure we go ahead and do this. But the biggest thing, honestly, is to look at the fundamentals of the business, and most certainly go ahead and take a look at the economic yield curve, because we want this to not be inverted. We want it to go up like this. We want it to go positive, right? Left to right, not from right to left. We want the 10-year note to pay more than the 6-month or 2-year note, because, if you invest your money in 10 years, you should expect more interest rates. The only reason why it's lower than the 2-year is because the Wall Street thinks that the future economic outlook of the economy is trash, right? And that's hence why we're in this kind of weird, kind of quasi-like stock market that's only experienced once every 10 to 15 years, right? And sometimes every 2 years if you consider bear markets, right? But overall, if you want access to this platform here, as you can see, we cleaned it up. It is an official terminal now. This is like, as legit as it gets. It's very organized, very clean. We do have our holiday coupon down below. It is going to expire tomorrow at midnight. So take advantage, because we are going to be increasing prices significantly. If lifetime doesn't suit your needs, we also have a monthly subscription plan to have access to all of this data to help you essentially on your investment journey. So overall, that is exactly what we have for you guys. Happy to see your guys' comments. In terms of GME, we do have a stock request channel here where you can essentially put the stocks that we want as a group to go over, and then we go ahead and on our meeting time, we come 2 hours a month and we go through them and we smash them. So definitely put them on there and we can go through them. But that's all I have for you guys. I'm gonna have to get back to my work. I have to look at a lot of the arteries and supplies to the gut, and I gotta look at and parcelate all those arteries out and make sure I master them all the way from the aorta. So I'm doing a vascular surgery rotation. And so wish me good luck. And I hope I make my mentors proud. It's a privilege and honor to serve you guys. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I'll see you on the next one.